Aaron Cantu, FightHype.com here with Jorge Capetillo. Thanks for taking the time, man.
Yeah.
Who's your fighter in this undercard? Teofimo Lopez against Claggett. Who you training on this undercard?
Okay, I'm with Emiliano Vargas. I'm here representing, the Team Vargas family. And, Emiliano's always ready. His father is in El Paso right now with Fernando Vargas Jr., who is fighting today. And he will travel. We'll be here tomorrow morning. But we're here representing.
That's what's up, Coach Capetillo. Now, you were a former trainer for a camp with Tyson Fury. You got some experience with him. What did you make of his last fight with the Usyk? What a fight.
No, it was a great fight. In the heavyweight division, anything can happen. We one punch away of chaos. I think I was a very competitive fight. We see again what Tyson is made of. He has a huge heart. He won't get down for so easy. And we saw that. I think it was the couple of rounds it was back and forth, and then I can see Tyson was controlling the fight into the punch, length. I think it's going to be a great rematch. I know Tyson is going to come better than ever, more motivated. Like he said, he already make a great comeback. Now he's coming from the loss, and I know he's going to bounce back.
He was able to outbox Usyk in some of those middle rounds. What do you think? Where do you think it went wrong, and how do you think he needs to adjust for a rematch?
It's just the basics. I think Tyson, he was on the ropes with the hands down. He just, keep the hands up. He knows what to do. I mean, he's been in the game for a long time, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna make the adjustments that he needs to do. And like he said, it was outboxing him, but he's the bigger dude. He's the bigger dude. He's the bigger guy, and I know he's gonna make the adjustment to get the win in December.
Definitely, Coach. What do you think about Andy Ruiz Jr. returning back into the ring against Jarrell Big Baby Miller?
Oh, I think it's a great fight. I think Andy's gonna do great. I know he's gonna be very, very, very well trained to get back in the ring, and I know he's gonna do well. And I know he's gonna do a great performance for sure. Where
do you think Andy can go? Do you think he can make another shot at the world title, or at least being a competitor?
Of course. Andy is a tremendous fighter. We already saw what happened against Anthony Joshua, in Madison Square Garden. I mean, Andy, he's been fighting his whole life. You know what I mean? He's very talented. He's fast, and I know when he gets focused, I know he's gonna do very well.
Last thing, Coach, what do you make of the 1-year suspension handed down to Ryan Garcia for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs?
That's a back and forth thing. That's unfortunately, it's like a little. They spot his win against Haney. Unfortunately, but things happen in boxing. It's 1-year suspension. I hope he do well. I hope his mama do well as well. And wish nothing but the best,
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for taking the time. I wanted to get your take on a couple just boxing-related topics. What do you make of the Ryan Garcia 1-year suspension, how he got busted for PEDs, and just how the whole thing has kind of played out? Kind of a shame.
It's kind of a circus now, I mean, I don't condemn that, any steroids or any kind of, illegal stuff. As far as Devin Haney doing all this show too, I mean, regardless, he got dropped.
Yeah.
That's not gonna go away. You can't delete that from my brain. And we all knew Ryan had power since he was young. He went in 2017 to when we opened the gym in East LA, and he was there and dropped a kid in sparring with 14-ounce gloves. So I always known that hook is real powerful and it's fast. So you sleep on it, he'll get you out,
Yeah, and with that hook with a little bit of juice behind it, it's gonna be like.
Yeah, but even without the juice, and I get it goes back and forth, but it could go both ways. If he would have had his hand up or moved, he would have missed, with juice or not juice, and he could have talent's talent, and it just absolutely is not. It's an advantage. So already, just like they don't allow us to have Red Bull and back in the locker rooms or coffee, so I understand it gives you that little extra boost. So yeah, I think it's he got a year suspension. He's got to do the time now, and after that we'll see what happens. But it's all money, man. You see how it is. I mean, they got him for $1 million something. Remember, I forgot who it was. It got 2-year suspension. Some got 6 months. I think Canelo got 6 months, and then Mosley, Oscar was saying today, got nothing. when he was caught with steroids. So I mean, it's just up to it's all
That's
over
because
the
there's no
place.
central commission.
Correct. They gotta make
There
one.
needs to be legislation made in Congress.
I agree that exactly. That way, there's one conviction for anything that you do wrong.
Exactly.
Solid. I don't matter the name, because now it seems like if your name is here or there, you get less. I know. I remember a fighter. I believe I forgot his name, but he was not a big name. He ended up retiring. It was one of the staff that gave him a shot. Kid didn't know. He thought it was vitamins. Turns out it was steroids. 2-year suspension. But he wasn't a big name, so they gave him 2 years. By the time he came back, he was already older. He became a firefighter. He's doing great. So that's kind of my take. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's all over the place. Can't really.
Yeah, that's how boxing is,
Yeah.
unfortunately. It's a dirty sport, the Wild Wild
is.
West.
It
I want to
is.
get your take on Tank Davis's last knockout victory over Frank Martin. What a shot and what a performance.
Yeah, I mean, Tank's been coming for a long time, proving that he's the man. He's like a little Mike Tyson. We like in the house, we'll be like, hey, there's the little Mexican brother, to us, because he's got that calm, and he's intelligent.
Yeah, he's got IQ.
Yeah, man, he's very intelligent. He's patient. Some people will be like, oh, he's losing, but he's just timing you. He's letting you build that confidence, and then he'll just boom, catch you. So it's like fishing, putting you in, and then.
What do you think about a potential fight? I mean, I just talked to Tio and his dad about him matching up with Tank. They say it could happen, but it's got to happen quick enough because Tio's gonna move up eventually. What do you think about that fight, Tank against Teofimo?
I'm one of the ones that
good
believe that
fight.
there's weights for a reason, weight classes for a reason. I think Tank, even I'm sure he'll tell you, if Teofimo goes down to 130 something, probably will happen, but there's no way I don't think Tank will go up to 140.
But he's fought at 140. He fought Barrios for the title at 140.
Yeah, and then remember after that he said he wouldn't do it again. He came out talking about it was tough, the weight. He was very stressed out about the weight. And even though he got the knockout, so I don't, because there have been other options for him to fight at 140.
Yeah.
And he said he wouldn't fight at 140.
I don't get that because his
So-
power should translate. I mean, the way
Not always. There's some fighters that they move up, they lose the power. There's some that keep it. Pacquiao was one of the ones that kept it until he went up to 154. But as far as he from 112 and up, he had the power. So he was one of them. But there's been other fighters that lose the power. So it all depends. They get a little sluggish, they build more muscle, a little more slow.
yeah, their punches don't have as big of an effect,
snap.
especially when they're fighting more durable, bigger
Right.
guys. Last thing, a guy who's going to be fighting soon, back in action, back in the ring, a guy you might know, Andy Ruiz Jr. is
Yeah.
going to take on Jarrell Miller.
Yeah.
And what do you think about
I'm
Ruiz?
just happy to see him back. Honestly, I'm just happy to see him back. I'm excited. I can't forget Joshua Steele. I lost my voice in that fight. I was feeling so damn hard. So I'm happy that he's back, and I'm excited to see him what shape he's in. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about Ruiz just historically? He's going to always go down as one of the greatest Mexican heavyweights. I mean, he'll always just be in the history books for what he did that night against
champion
Joshua.
of the world. Correct. And the way he won. I mean, comes from getting dropped, gets up, and turns the papers around. I wish he would have maintained that conditioning, but
That's what happens when you get all this
you
money.
get all
you
this
become
fame
champion.
and money and a lot of partying. I can't knock him for it. I mean, they're young and temptation's hard sometimes.
He gave us some good fights. He knocked
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz around. I
Yeah.
mean, do you think he's got a couple years left, or?
Yeah, he's heavyweight, and he's been off for a minute, so I think he's got a couple fights more, 2 or 3 more fights, if not more, honestly.
Good deal. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.